I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. As always, welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. It is Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, boys. And by a lot, really just UFC 303 recap. No other MMA events going down this weekend. We got Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, and we got some other news. However, that being said, as always, we're brought to you by two fantastic sponsors of the show, Rogue Energy and ELYXR. Rogue Energy keep me fueled up, whether I'm at home, at the gym, or at work. They get me to the finish line. They can help you as well with code SOUNDOFF. At checkout, code SOUNDOFF, checkout, all caps. They'll keep you ready for whatever happens.
By the way, did you like think about reaching out to that company that I mentioned?
I think once we get to a sizable audience, and I don't think we're too far away from it, but I do plan on looking into it.
By the way, well, I'll get into it. I'll explain my idea after the show. I probably should have mentioned it before.
No, you're good. You're
but
good.
I was just putting it out.
But
there.
you know what company we do currently work with, Angel? That is ELYXR. ELYXR.com. Code SOUNDOFF at checkout for 10% off their amazing products. Guys, it's July 4th. It's July 4th week. Fucking light one up for Uncle Sam, man. You know what I mean? They got
Uncle Sam.
They got blunts, they got rolls, they got gummies, they got everything you could possibly
By the
want.
way, does 4th of July usually fall on a weekday?
I feel like it does, but maybe that's just maybe we just remember it that way for some reason. Because I feel like
I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day because I was like, man, 4th of July is gonna be on a Thursday. I mean, I ain't complaining.
I mean, I'm complaining because I have to work that day, but I'm pretty unhappy about that. But I mean, I feel like it's on the weekends, but whatever. Mm-hmm. That being said, once again, ELYXR, Rogue Energy, code SOUNDOFF, 10% off. Enjoy yourself. Look, man, UFC 303 going down from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. This card, International Fight Week. I don't think it lived up to the hype necessarily, but I will say the main event lived up to the hype in the way that Alex Pereira. I'm going to go out on a limb here, Angel. I think Alex Pereira is the biggest MMA star since Conor McGregor. I think we've had guys like Izzy come through. We've had other guys come through who've come to a certain level of popularity. But I feel like Alex Pereira is not an MMA star. He is a sports star in the same way that Conor McGregor was. You could see it in the views. You can see it in the way that they put up his knockout right after he won. They know how big of a star he is, man.
I wonder what the actual data is on like this. I'm sure it's up there though. You're not wrong. We have talked about this where it's kind of like this guy's really developing a following, not speaking English, but just being himself within the sport and potentially even outside of the sport a little bit.
He has aura.
I
mean, people talk about that shit, but it's like, dude, the guy has so
much.
Also,
the best thing right now, he's winning. You know, like he's winning. Oh yeah. I mean, Josh, we got to talk about the performance. Like, we got to go right into it. I mean, as far as the fight, obviously, like, he could only look better from that fight, right? Because, like, Jiri had pressure. He's going forward. But you always knew, like, at least for me, like, the way Jiri's fighting, like, dude, I don't know if this is going to work out for you.
Yeah.
This time around, I felt like it was Alex Pereira's fight. Like, he was doing what he wanted to do in that fight. Defended the takedown well. Didn't go for, I think last time he went for standing guillotine, right?
Yeah.
This time he didn't. And obviously, like, you heard him talk about how he's watching some warm-up footage of Jiri in the back and how he noticed some tendencies and kind of like looked like kind of adjusted that in the fight.
The tendency being that he holds his hands at his fucking waistline, so he could.
That too, right? But really, but still,
I'm just joking.
But maybe in the moment watching it like that, it kind of gave him like, I don't know, something to work with.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, it was a
second round too.
I mean, it's second round. Like, look, on paper, very close fight when you think about it to the first fight. Second round knockout, all that stuff. But dude,
he was concussed at the end of the first.
Alex Pereira, this fight happened just 8 months ago. He went from a competitive fight. Jiri got the takedown. He landed shots. He didn't rock him, but he landed big shots during that first fight to getting annihilated. That fight really wasn't close I mean, can you think of anything massive, significant that Jiri did?
He might have got like one or two decent hands through.
Yeah, but
nothing enough where I was like, okay.
I mean, knocked down to finish the first, knocked out to start the second. So
yeah, exactly. Just to give you an idea. Yeah. I mean, and by the way, how do you feel about Yuri's comments afterwards being very like, if I can't improve, I'm done? Which sounds like it's something Jiri would say. I don't think it's actually the case.
No.
But dude, it's kind of crazy because this guy's like, dude, this is his 205 Izzy now.
Yeah. It really is.
In a very different way, though, because Jiri got knocked out both times. Izzy got decisioned, knocked out.
Yeah, controversial decision, knockout after he nearly knocked out Alex. And the first time MMA, super close, winning on the cards, all the stuff. So,
yeah.
Jiri, though, man, he talked about going to middleweight, which I'm very interested to see if he can make that cut and do it healthily.
He's done it in the past. He's fought at 185 in the past, early.
Yeah, but like he's 30s now, gotten accustomed to it. We'll see if he can make that weight. I hate seeing a guy like you say that though. It's like, damn, dude, he still has so much to offer the sport. I mean, you're talking about, what is this? His fourth loss?
He's
Fifth
33.
loss?
He's 33, and he's fought like 30 something odd times. 30 some plus. Yeah,
30. That was his fifth loss. Only his second in the UFC. He's only lost to Alex Pereira in the UFC. So, man, I would love to see him stick around, man. And I hope he's not serious about that. I think it's probably just him, feeling down after the second loss and kind of knowing like,
it's hard. It's hard, man. It was especially the way it happened.
Yeah, because now he's in a position where he's locked out of the title picture. Because it's one thing to lose
for a little while. Yeah,
it's one thing to lose the first fight in that fashion where it's kind of controversial. Some people thought it was a bad stoppage. He had moments. Second fight wasn't close for a minute. So it's, what are you going to do? I mean,
we're kind of going to have to talk about the future of this guy, right? Because Dana kind of laid out because Dana kind of shut down a heavyweight. Like, we're going to not try to sugarcoat it, right?
Yeah. Well, he said that he would be interested in Alex moving up at the heavyweight in the future, but not right now. He wants to see him fight more guys.
I think it doesn't even matter. I think if he either fights Aspinall or Jones, it's irrelevant. You can get either guy.
I like the idea that you do Pereira, because let's be honest here, the dude's so active. He's probably going to fight a light heavyweight again at the very least. I don't know when, maybe October.
But you know what my thought process was? It's like, start today.
Yeah. Start
working on getting to heavyweight weight, whatever that's going to be for his comfort, right? It might not even be much more than what he's at, maybe like 245, right?
Yeah.
And start working on an interim for 205. Magomed Ankalaev is there. Jiri Prochazka can maybe get another shot at a title, Yeah, I mean, I don't know who exactly you put in an interim. It's kind of
Volkan Oezdemir and
Volkan and Magomed. Could you imagine what a banger? But and then let Jones, Aspinall, or Jones and CP all play out, and then just throw Pereira in the mix.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be the intelligent move.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do Jan against Ankalaev, maybe interim if they do run that. Jan Blachowicz. Because I saw apparently Pereira, what his coach said, he wants a rematch against Jan. Which is weird.
Against Jan Blachowicz?
Yeah.
I think it's because he didn't finish him.
Yeah, well, it was a split decision. It was a very close fight. That was whenever they fought in Salt Lake, and both guys were.
And he feels like he can get him out of there now.
Yeah, after the first, that'd be an interesting fight. But dude,
the thing is, if he sticks at 205, his next fight is Magomed Ankalaev. There's no if or buts.
I don't get it. I guess I just don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get why the fuck they hate this.
By the way, if he does that, like, I'm not gonna say he's cleared out the division. There's no super clear breaking through guy at 205.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, so Jiri obviously beat him twice. Ankalaev still waiting to see. Jamal Hill knocked him out. Well, due to the referee.
Already beat Blachowicz, but it was a split.
Rochik just lost.
Krylov's getting them, but it's like, dude,
still.
Are you really excited for? I mean, you'll watch as it's Pereira.
Dude, could you fucking imagine if Krylov? I could see Krylov winning that fight.
Really?
In an alternate universe, maybe I could see him getting him down.
Do you think Pereira loses to someone we don't expect?
I think that's almost exactly what would happen because I think Krylov would not be fucking.
Could you imagine if Anthony Smith actually got a title shot again and somehow beat Alex Pereira?
I'm like Doctor Strange. I checked all the universes. There's no fucking reality where that happened, bro. There's no reality where fucking Anthony.
But John Jones isn't even that good according to Anthony Smith.
Here's the issue. You're making me defend Anthony Smith now because he is objectively correct with what he said with that. He meant it not in the way that John Jones is not good, but that John Jones, he doesn't over excel at any one thing. But whenever you package it all together with the height, the reach, and all that shit, he is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Exactly. And I kind of get that because if you look at John can't really box for shit, but he's good enough to keep the fight where he wants it. He has the range. You know what I mean? He has good kicks. Not the best kicks, but he has good kicks. You package it all together, you got a guy who seemingly is unbeatable for 205 pounders.
But yeah, I do think with the state of 205, I think even a move to heavyweight for Poatan is kind of unquestioned. It's gonna happen. Yeah. At this time, because how many wins is Krylov on? Because he's got a little win streak because that's really the only other guy.
Yeah. So he beat Ryan Spann, submitted him. He decisioned Oezdemir. He knocked out Gustafsson. Prior to that, he lost to Paul Craig.
He lost to
Ankalaev. Beat Johnny Walker. So he's riding a 3-fight win streak.
But he's the only other guy I think in the division like in the higher rankings, it's on a win streak because everybody else is coming off a loss pretty much.
Yeah, dude, I think it'd be so fun. I really think what's going to happen. I really feel like people hype up these certain guys. I think it's going to be like a guy that we don't expect because I feel like a guy like Krylov wouldn't play the game of standing on the feet. I think he would go like I think Jan shot for a takedown, Jan Blachowicz, like 4 seconds into his fight with Hay or something, 6 seconds in.
Smart idea.
Krylov's going to do that, except he has really good subs. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see. I'm just saying that. I don't think he'd actually probably win that fight. But
who do you think Poton fights again this year? Because Poton said he's DTF for another fight.
Either Ankalaev or the winner of Aspinall versus Blades. That's what I think. I don't know which, but I think that heavyweight move just makes too much sense and makes too much money for it to not happen. I really think that they might end up
like, why wouldn't he chase a third title?
Exactly. It doesn't hurt him. You know what I mean? And it just he's already the fastest rising UFC Hall of Famer and GOAT of all time. I mean, there's nobody that's come in and made a resume for being, oh shit.
I know he's on the older end too, which is crazy.
Exactly. He's running out. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time, motherfucker. So
he might have another good 2 years, to be honest, if that.
I think he's gonna be around longer than that
because he's 37, Josh. Doesn't you think about? I know the way he fights, he can stick around for a while because he doesn't take damage.
He's 36.
He's 36.
He's about to be 37.
But he's going on 37. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So he's going to be 37, but you just got to think about it, man.
And in a higher weight class, obviously, that plays, like,
that's exactly
just kind of odd.
Andre Arlovsky fought on the same card.
But I just think, Josh.
You really don't think he's got much time, huh?
I still don't think it's going to be that much time. Because, I mean, I got to recognize the human body still take, like, think about it. I'm sure now at this point, compared to, like, what his kickboxing career, he's probably had more injuries in training than he ever has. You know what I mean? Recovery's not the same. It's just a proven fact. Like,
and he does just need to. Honestly, it really just takes him to get flatlined once for him to be like, you know what? I made my money. I've already become a GOAT.
And it's already happened.
Yeah. So
it's already happened, and happened at a lower. And granted, it happened at a lower weight class and all that.
And he was gonna retire before he came to MMA anyway. It just took Izzy. By the way, is that the worst decision of all time? Whenever Izzy was in that interview and he was like, "Yeah, some guy at a bar," you know.
Hey, it is.
And that made Alex be like, "You know what? I'm gonna go to MMA."
It is what it is. Granted, though. By the way, do you think those fucks fight one more time before the end of their careers? Trilogy. Settle it in MMA. Like, to settle their trilogy in MMA. They had their fights in kickboxing. Yeah. It went the way it did. Do they settle it in MMA?
I feel like it just makes too much money.
1-1 apiece.
It makes too much money for them not to do it.
You know it's going to have aura. Yeah. You know it's going to be good. Do they settle their trilogy in MMA?
I don't know. Izzy's also kind of a vindictive motherfucker. I could see him being like, no, I'm not. I left it where I want to leave it. You know,
and he is that kind of guy, and I can respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's funny. You know what I mean? I mean, he's he didn't beat Alex. Still technically holds more wins over him, but in MMA it's equal. And he's 1-1 against his son. So I mean, what
Izzy's career is still on paper, like his accolades are still more than Alex's.
Oh yeah, I mean, he didn't have the double champ thing, but I mean, 5 title defenses versus 1, and
he also knocked out the guy to get it back.
2 title defenses.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Immediately.
Might become a 3-time champion. It's all about what you value, but I still have Izzy higher in the GOAT discussion.
Granted, Poatan 3 titles changes the whole game for everybody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Poatan gets a 3rd title, because here's the thing. He's going to have to walk through hell to get that 3rd belt, regardless of who.
Could you imagine if he fought Aspinall in December, interim title, wins it, and he's like, John Jones, I want you, but it's in Portuguese.
He would do it. John Jones, Shama. And that would be it. That would just be it. And then boom.
That's all they needed for a promo.
Dana would be in the post-fight press conference. All right. I know we don't make fights till the night of, but we got John Jones versus Alex Pereira. And he's got like a little
schedule for March 1st.
He's reading it off a post-it note. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, dude. I mean, like I said, though, he's going to have to walk through hell to win that title regardless of who he faces, whether it's John or Tom. So it's going to be like one of those things where it's like, even if he wins the 3rd belt, it's like, fuck, dude. Normally, a lot of cases where it's like, I'll use a boxing example. Roy Jones won his heavyweight title by beating John Ruiz instead of Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's not a situation like that. Whoever he beats is either rising heavyweight, who a lot of people can think could be one of the greatest in his weight class by the time he's all said and done. Tom's still a young guy.
Right.
Current interim champion. Or the greatest fighter of all time. He's got to be one of those 2 guys. So it's like...
But dude, the thing is like, I feel like the journey that, like, granted, I don't know if it's going to take... how many fights it's going to be, but I feel like they made that John fight happen, dude. Yeah. I feel like that moment is a legacy moment, at least for Poatan. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, and look, I've been very open about the fact that I think John needs to happen.
It would get infinitely more interesting when we see how John looks, again, at heavyweight against Miocic. The fact, granted, we don't even know how well or bad that fight could go.
Well, and I said this a year ago. Fuck, dude.
I talked about this not too long ago, too. I was like, we said it on the show, I was like, could you imagine the world where Stipe is the one to beat John?
God, dude, it would be so fucking
John's like,
fun.
I'm gonna have the Croatian flag hung up behind me.
Dude, if Stipe beats John, I'm taking that poster down. I'm putting just Stipe Miocic, just a poster of Stipe. No, but like it would be so funny, and I'm not even gonna count him out because this is funny because this is what I said. I said almost a year ago, like almost 2 years ago now. Whenever John won the belt back in I think February of 2023, excuse me. I said at the time that like he looked good, but I still don't know how he actually looks as a heavyweight because Cyril Gane was just that bad on that night. You know what I mean? Getting taken down and submitted. There was no second effort. There was no second gear. John Jones took him down at 90 seconds. Boom, tapped him. You know what I mean? I don't know how he does in the fourth round as a heavyweight. I don't know how he does in the second round. I don't know how he does
because I'm just like, dude, we could have had Ngannou Jones.
I know it does. I don't know how he looks taking big shots from heavyweights. We have none of that. So it's like,
how does he look at a 5-round fight with heavyweight?
With the added weight and all that stuff? It's like it's still such a big mystery for me. It's like I don't know how I feel.
John looks a little fluffy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I picked John to beat Alex Pereira. He's the only one I feel confident. You know what I mean? But I don't know how he does against Tom. I don't know how he does against Stipe. I'd pick him, but you know what I mean?
Josh, you think Poetan is gonna lose to John Jones? Come on, dude.
I think John Jones would be shooting for his life in there on the start of the fight. You're kidding me?
No, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's how it starts. But anyways, I think that's all we kind of got on Alex right now.
I mean, he was the big commodity for that night. He's the only... These guys came in on weeks' notice to come in and save this shit.
Yeah,
and they gave us. I mean, they gave us that, and Poetan put that performance up, man.
Incredible
for Jiri, heartbreaking. Once again, though, like we did talk about it, like you almost do wonder too. Also, like, did the short notice also affect the fight? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure it did.
It had to in some
capacity. This fight. No.
Yeah, this is probably not the best version of this fight, but it's the fight we got. It's the history that was made.
Absolutely.
So be it.
Yeah. Co-main event. Speaking of history, we got some history there. Dan Ige, Dynamite. He goes by Dynamite and 50K. So whichever one. 50K Dan Ige probably worth fucking 300K. I'm sure 303,000.
Dude, they must.
Dana was giving out those bonuses.
They must have paid him very, very well.
Well, Dana's. I mean, apparently he did give out. He said he wasn't going to, but he ended up giving out a couple $303,000 bonuses. So good for him. But probably Dan Ige probably got one of those. Regardless, Dan Ige stepping up on hours' notice. Brian Ortega got sick after failing to make weight against Diego Lopez. They ended up moving up to lightweight. So Diego Lopez, who does not get the credit for his willingness in this situation. Fight was supposed to be a featherweight. Diego Lopez makes 146. Brian Ortega's team tells him, we're not going to make weight. So he has to rehydrate up back to 155. Weigh-ins happen. He's good. Brian Ortega pulls out. He's like, hey, Diego, you got to make 165 now. He makes 165 to face Dan Ige, who came in off the street, lives in Vegas, has a fight in 3 weeks. Can't remember against who, but he had a fight in a couple of weeks from now. And
Eric Nixick called up Kai Kamaka, who literally fought the night before in the PFL.
Yeah.
Won. I think he fought Pedro Carvalho.
Something like that.
I could be wrong. And Sean Strickland. And he assembled the Avengers real quick. So that way they'd have a corner.
And look, dude, for 2 rounds, it looked like the Diego Lopez show. He landed big bombs. He nearly submitted him in the second. But in that third round, 50K Dan Ige comes out like a bat out of hell and was landing shots, took him down, tried to get the finish in the last minute, couldn't get it. All in all, for a 1-day notice fight, it's about as good as you're going to get.
I will say Alex Perez has been eclipsed as DTF Fighter of the Year.
Oh,
DTF Fighter of the Year is Danny Ige, and it's not even going to be close.
Yep. Our DTF Fighter of all. It's gonna take a lot for somebody. I don't even know how anybody can dethrone him for DTF Fighter of the Year.
I mean, Lupita Godinez, when she did her back-to-back weeks, or 2 weeks notice, whatever it was, gap.
But that was last year.
That was pretty crazy though.
But Dan Ige, man, are down to fight DTF Fighter of 2024, and I don't think anybody's gonna be able to surpass him. Coming in here on hours' notice, just incredible.
The only thing I think
to face a guy, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but to face a guy who's
fuck you, John. No, I'm kidding.
To face a guy who's viewed as one of the most electric guys right now. Like, oh my god, dude, the balls.
Speaking about DTF, Diego Lopez is still down to fight in the Sphere.
Damn straight, he is.
Still down to fight Brian Ortega.
He wants either Ortega or Volkanovski.
I feel like they should give him Mozart still. I feel like that's a good choice.
I think Diego Lopez in that space right now where there are no bad fights.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you pull up the featherweight rankings right now, and I'm just gonna do it real quick. So he's at 14, Dan Ige 13. By the way, the fact that they didn't move him in front of it weird. They've been acting weird with fight. Like for example, Volkan knocked out Johnny Walker last week. Still 2 spots behind him.
I mean, I don't know if they just haven't been updated.
Yeah, the seven people working left.
By the way, the only thing that I think could beat Danny Ige is the backup having the fight in a title fight and winning.
Yeah,
that's my dream. I still want to see that happen.
Yeah,
I want someone to. It sounds bad because someone would miss weight, so it'd be shitty. Yeah. But I would love someone to miss weight in a championship fight, and then the backup has to fight and wins.
That'd be sick. But
you know what I mean? That's never happened though. We never had the backup actually had to fight, right?
No. But I mean, so we had Diaz Lopez 14. There's no bad fights if you look at it, man. Dan Ige is 1 spot ahead of him. Bryce Mitchell, Leone Murphy, Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze, Aljamain Sterling, Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, Mosar, Yair, Brian, Max Holloway, and Alexander Volkanovski. There are no bad fights for Diego Lopez.
Ortega in the Sphere, man.
Ortega in the Sphere. I think that's it. Mexican Independence Day, headlined by a Spanish guy, ELYXR. Is that? I don't know how that.
Because Max is still working on this fight, right?
Yeah, but
Max fights like a Mexican, so it's all good.
You're right. Actually,
he does.
The Mexicans.
I get to be Comey and Valentina, Alex Grasso were cool.
Yeah,
we're gonna have Zell Hoover and all those guys. Raul, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna build that shit up, and they should.
Yeah.
Look, man.
What's it called? What's that one flyweight Mexican flyweight? He's gonna come out of retirement.
Mexican flyweight. I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name.
Oh fuck, I could see his face.
Older guy too, I think.
Jose Torres.
Jose Shorty Torres.
Or no, maybe it's not Jose Torres. Fuck, what was this guy's name? Fuck, he might have been Torres too. I could see his face, dude. He was WEC champion.
Miguel Torres.
Miguel Torres.
I
know it was a Torres. I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, Miguel Torres. Yeah.
Oh, he's a featherweight?
Yeah, featherweight. No, he fought well, he actually bounced around from like 125 to 145. He bounced around.
What a dog.
Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, Miguel Torres is gonna come in retirement for UFC Noche.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez too, dude. He's gonna be fighting for his freedom at UFC Noche. Cain Velasquez versus the pedophile. And Kane's got it in. He sucked it in. The pedo's out. Kane's not letting go. Kane. Herb Dean. Herb Dean's letting it go.
Bro,
it's not a late stoppage. This might just be murder. Sometimes these things happen in MMA.
And then Kane does the Ryan Garcia bit. He's like, he goes to the guy that he goes to the stepfather that he accidentally shot in traffic. The guy, whenever he fucking was shooting at him, he's not waking up. I'm not fuck the fighting bullshit, bro. He's not waking up. Like
they're feeling it in Brazil.
Harry Galarte Jr. is not waking up. That's right. I know the name. Fuck you, bro.
Let that motherfucker know, Josh.
Dude, I can't. Dude, fuck California, bro. Fuck California. Piece of shit state. You're telling me you let that guy who raped Kane's kid 100 times, you let him go on house arrest the fucking week he gets arrested, but Cain Velasquez goes and does some shit, and you keep him there for 9 months away from his children, and you're still trying to put him in life in prison? Fuck you. But had to get that all off my chest. Never done that rant before. I've done that rant to people in person. I think I'm even talking about you that in person. But fuck that. And Kane, still supporting him. His trials, I think, is in September, unless they got pushed back.
Yeah, no, that's still ongoing.
So they're trying to appeal it to get it pushed back.
He's like on house arrest, right? Like he's been on house arrest for a minute, right?
He's not. Okay, so he's on house arrest, but he's able to get clearance to go places.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think he's done some wrestling where he's gotten cleared.
Yeah. You know?
So. Yeah, man. Shout out Kane. And yeah, I'd love to see that fight. Him against that fucking Harry Galarte Jr. Feel free to look that up to make sure you're not around that guy.
Make sure he's not in your neighborhood.
Make sure he's, being safe. Anyways, look, man, this card, I don't think we're spending too much long on the main card except for the opening fight. We'll just go Roman Dolidze, Anthony Smith. This fight, they were definitely even.
I thought Anthony Smith was a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of let down.
Yeah, he never got out of first gear.
Yeah,
not even.
He couldn't get it going. He couldn't get it going. Couldn't get the gears turning.
Yeah, and it was an okay fight.
Wait, Roman at 205, like as far as like
he looked good
physically, the body. Like I thought he was to be a lot smaller. Dude, he was right there with Anthony Smith.
I don't know why he would move down after that performance. To be quite honest with you,
I think he should stay. I think Roman Dolidze should consider a move to 205 because not even just that, but he has now a ranked win as a light heavyweight. That's a W, dude. He could instantly. I'm sure, like whoever his management team is, could be like, hey. Roman came on this short notice. Yeah. We beat a ranked Anthony Smith. It was on short notice. We want another ranked fight at 205.
Yeah. Dude, his last fight against Nasruddin Imavov, he said, and he's admitted this, he was so gassed by he doesn't remember anything past the midway of the second round. He was so gassed. He was so exhausted. He came in here on like 9 days notice and was in better shape and did not gas.
I told you, I
like,
saw that fucker hiking, dude. He was hiking before. I'm sure that definitely helped.
So look, man, I like it. And for Anthony Smith, I really don't have a whole lot of takeaways from this fight. Like Roman looked good. He looked in better shape.
And it was a short notice fight.
Short notice fight. We said both these guys. We looked up their heights and their weights, and they were like, "Oh damn, these guys are even as fuck." And that fight was even as fuck. They like, I thought Anthony. I thought round 1 was pretty close. Round 2 obviously deletes it. Round 3 obviously Smith. So what are you gonna do?
By the way, I think my picks went pretty well. If I'm looking at this right, I did pick Anthony Smith and I did pick MVP, but I had a good call on Macy Chiasson. I think I got you on this week, right?
I believe you did get me on this week. Yeah, Macy Chiasson defeating Mayra Bueno Silva.
That's the pick that saved me, right?
Yeah, correct. Doctor stoppage.
By the way,
brutal cut.
MBS still down to fight.
Yeah, and dude, Mayra Bueno Silva. It sucks that I really think maybe the lights just got to her in that moment because she just choked so badly.
She's a dog.
But every fight outside of that, she's been entertaining, and this one she was ready to fucking go. And I thought that first round was entertaining, man. Like they were in the clinch. Trading.
I told you. I felt
big
like
shots.
There were a lot of knees in the clinch. I told you these girls were gonna throw down.
I know. I was very impressed by both of them. Honestly, I want to see that rematch.
Shout
Book that for the Sphere. Fuck it.
Shout out MBS.
Shout out MBS. Muhammad bin Salman. Turkey. Allah shit. No, it's just
you get me every time with that.
Oh man,
but that was a pretty good recreation of
Thank you. Oh yeah. Anyways, looks like fucking Ariel Helwani.
By the way, we did say this about this next fight. We said this could either be a really entertaining fight or it could go the way it did, and it went the way we thought it could.
Yeah, I will say, whenever I said this fight could have been bad, I did not expect it to be bad in the form of grappling. I thought maybe they were just going to be both outside kickboxers and nobody's going to really engage, like kind of how like MVP against second fight with Lima and Paul Daly.
Okay, you might call me crazy, but wasn't this fight really hard to score?
I was actually surprised there was not more outrage about this one because I actually thought MVP won this fight.
I thought MVP could have had an argument.
No, I thought he won this fight straight up. I'll go ahead and say that.
Because I was going to say, I felt like Gary had a lot of just like there was a lot of just control. Like he really didn't have a lot of big moments on the ground, not a lot of subs. And I felt like the times that we're on the feet, like MVP would always get like a few through. Was it a lot? No, it wasn't. But it's like, what do you value? For those big shots that kind of did move Gary, or the control time that had no subs on it, and the takedowns that took a massive amount of effort but didn't lead to anything.
So for me, I think it's a very easy fight to score rounds 1 and 2, obviously. Rounds 3, it's like, so
you even see their split. Like,
yeah,
you see that right
so
there.
if you look at the fan voting on MMA decisions, which granted,
can you go up a little bit for me just so I can see those percentages on the round?
Yeah, hold on, let me see
right there. Yeah, that's what's kind of a little bit more for me.
Yeah,
down.
Down.
There you go, Dad.
So there you go. So fan scoring. If you go by MMA decisions, now I will say journalists only I think 4 out of like 24 had MVP winning. But fan voting, the majority slightly thought MVP edged him out.
That's a crazy split right there on round 3. You see that 46.2, 46.2.
And I don't have an issue with it because I thought it was kind of crazy that this one wasn't a split or more people had issues with it. Because it's like, if you think about the round, it's like, what was the round?
I did come out myself questioning out of it. Like, I'd almost love to do a rewatch on this because I think it's genuinely a hard fight to score.
I agree. And I'm surprised there wasn't more people talking about it. Like MVP, you came out, think about round 3. MVP comes out, he was landing more shots. Gary went for a takedown, fucked up. MVP landed in mount. And spent half the round in mount.
Did he get a reversal too?
No, I don't think so.
Or was that round 2? Because you remember MVP got a reversal.
That was round 2. MVP in round 3. That's whenever he came out. Landed for shots. Gary shot for a takedown. He landed in mount for half the round. They got up. MVP. They trade some more shots. Gary ends up getting to the back and ends the round with a minute of back control time.
Do you think? By the way, do you think this devalues MVP a lot? Or do you think he'll be able to? They'll still hook up MVP.
I think it's the exact opposite. I think Ian Gary looks bad in defeat.
By the way,
another
thing we didn't even mention. I think this big thing coming out of this. The amount of love that MVP got, dude. Presser. Fight night, lots of chance, a lot of MVP love.
People like the guy.
A lot of MVP love.
That's hilarious,
dude. They loved him so much, dude, that even the baby loved MVP.
That's true. That's true.
Even fucking Ian Gary's child loved MVP.
Yeah, I mean, if you go round by round, man, this is a very close fight. Like it's
because it wasn't a lot. It was very slow. There was a lot of obviously with MVP, a lot of bursts, a lot of stops.
So look at that. Significant strikes in round 3. 5 of 9 for MVP, 8 of 12 for Ian Gary. Ian Gary went 1 for 3 on takedowns. He had a minute 56 control time. MVP had a minute 37 of control time. So
yeah, like I said, I did come out. Like I did question myself after the fight. Like I don't know. I thought MVP might have won that. Like I said, I thought it was a hard fight to score.
I need to rewatch it.
I think man, maybe that's what it is too. Upon rewatch, I may be like, something's a little clear. By the way, it's happy to see this guy back. By the way, how did you feel about his comments afterwards? And that person, by the way, just to make it clear, guys, if you don't know, we went one down. We're talking about Joe Pyfer. Probably, I mean, I guess the Bonek will come before Joe, or did he come after? I think he was already signed before Bo. I could be wrong,
so.
But hadn't fought. But I will say another middleweight that's received a lot of love and attention and has a fun fight style.
Yeah. Afterwards, he said that he after he lost to, I can't think of the guy.
Jack Hermanson,
excuse me.
Which it wasn't even like he was winning a lot of the fight. Yeah. He just didn't.
The
have
early
enough.
portions too.
Yeah, like dude, Joe Pyfer's one fight, like a scorecard away. A round away, I should say, probably from being a ranked middleweight.
Exactly. And he made short work of Marc-Andre Barriol, huge knockout. And he came out and said that he's like, you know what, man, I had to take time off of social media because people were just so brutal. And afterwards, I saw people were like, oh, you're a fighter, you can't deal with it.
He seems like a good guy,
and
too.
It's
like Joe actually seems like a legit good guy.
Yeah, I think, and there were a lot of people who were attacking him for saying that. I'm like, guys, you're fucking proving his point.
Like, you guys are literally doing what, like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's like, what a pussy. It's like, dude, you step in the cage then, bitch. Like,
you step in there with Joe Pyfer.
I hate the MMA fan base. And even Peyton Talbot said the same thing. Joe Pyfer said it. Peyton Talbot said it.
So it almost makes you wonder. It's probably true.
And it's a new thing, too. I mean, you've been watching MMA for the last, when did you start? 2016, 2015, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
I
mean, there was a lot of up and downs in those early days.
Well, I've been around for probably about 15 years now. So now
have the sports life.
Yeah, dude, the fan base is the most, and I think you could just argue it's probably just
it's peak toxicness. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
It's never been more.
It is so bad. I mean, it's actually disgusting how much hate some of these guys get. Like if you want to be hypercritical of how a fight played out and everything, but like to the point where you're like coming out here and like bashing these guys and hating on them,
and people,
and like it starts becoming even like to the personal level. It's like, dude, like everybody on this roster could kill you.
Literally every single person.
Some of these women on this roster could kill you.
Multiple. I'd say the majority. The majority could fucking kill you. And I feel like people just don't get it.
There's plenty of guys out there too that like still think like, oh, dude, they never catch me in a street fight like that. Yeah, we still have a lot of those chats too.
Well, the thing is that because like it's like people have played basketball and football and maybe they've gotten owned before. You know what I mean? Like they know that they're not that good at that. But guys, for whatever reason, delude themselves into thinking, oh yeah, I could land a fluke shot on fucking Peyton Talbot or some shit. It's like, no, motherfucker, you wouldn't.
Peyton Talbot would be too quick for your ass.
Peyton Talbot would knock you, dude. People are like, oh, he's. Well, do you just want to talk about Peyton Talbot now?
Well, another thing, it's like, all right. Another thing people got like, dude, I'm not losing to some 135. Yeah, that guy's 135 for a few minutes, dude. That guy rehydrates back to 160 damn near.
Yeah, that guy's rehydrating to like 160, and you weigh 175. What difference do you think he's gonna make, motherfucker? 15 pounds versus fucking 14 pro fights in the cage? Like, what the fuck?
But wait, before we get there, quick shout out to Andre Fili, Club Swanson,
banger.
Shout out
Fight
to
of the night.
Gene Silva, Charles Jourdain. Heartbreaking for me, Josh.
Killed Frenchie, man. Killed it.
Broke my heart, right? Yeah. It killed my heart for Charles Jourdain because I love me some Jordan. No, I had to do it. But like you said, to kind of bring it back, dude, Peyton Talbot rising in a very unique way, I think, to a lot of like, I mean, when you think about like guys that have been coming up, like the Raul Rosas, the Joe Pyfers, the Alex Pereira's, their come up has been very unique. Even like what's our guy at half flyweight, the Japanese kid, Tatsuo Taira.
Yeah,
like all their rises have been very different. And Peyton Talbot also falls in that category of like it's been a very unique rise, and I think for like a lot of it's been both a lot of positivity and negativity because of how he is, because he's a very like and I think I said it last week, a very free spirited individual, very much like that West Coast like lifestyle.
You know what it is? It pisses off people that they're successful and you can't, like he said on the show on the MMA Hour, you can't put him in a box. You can't define the guy. He's just himself. He does what he likes to do.
And I love that shit.
And
dude.
people, that's what they do. They fucking pick on people who are different. You know what I mean?
And there's people who are like, I saw some Twitter posts are like, dude, I refuse to believe Peyton Talbot discovered mixed martial arts like in 2018 or 2019 or whatever, and is now at this level. It's like, dude, there's just guys out there who are special.
They're freak athletes. Yeah, they're freak athletes in every single form and fashion. Go sport by sport. There's many people. BJ Penn discovered it. Just to give you an example. Shout out to BJPenn.com. BJ Penn got his fucking jiu-jitsu black belt. He discovered jiu-jitsu in like 2000 or 1997. Was a black belt by 2000. Like the motherfucker. Like they're just.
That's how it is for some people.
That's
man.
how it is for some people. So I believe that Peyton Talbot did that.
Yeah. And I saw a Conor McGregor highlight at a sushi restaurant. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's all it took.
Yeah. It's insane. Like that's just how some
because like genuinely Peyton Talbot, it's weird. He's one of those feel like there's definitely athletes like this who weren't big fans in the sport but got into it really quick.
Yeah, And I also love I love the fighters that are like, yeah, so did you watch this fight? Oh, actually, I don't watch the sport at all when I'm not fighting. And it's like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, right.
he's not really that guy, but he's somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of pays attention, but not as much. But
By the way, we didn't even talk about this, but did you see he released an YouTube
I watched
video?
all of his videos, yeah.
I watched all of them too. I love him. I love his content. I like his unique. Like,
He's a creative guy.
I'm telling you. But
but he dances on a pole. Oh my god. Oh fuck, Angel. Oh my god. He did pole. Fuck. He danced on a pole for fucking fitness,
dancing, which is very hard.
Very difficult. Oh my god. Could you imagine? Oh my god. The fucking guy. Oh my god. He watches anime. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. He painted his fingernails black. Oh god. Like what the fuck? Why do you care? Like, oh my god.
They just refuse to believe that like their hardy hard guy isn't like the best in the world, right?
Yeah, and I don't get it. And I saw somebody who was like, there's some people who are like, oh, he's fruity, but he's chill. I saw somebody say that. It's kind of funny, but he's not even fruity, bro.
But dude, the fact they put a translation in there in French on how to beat him.
I know, what a guy.
This is completely off topic, but back up the Call of Duty Ghost, there was this like really good dominant team in COD, competitive COD, and the guy, like, I forgot, they were like on some crazy win streak leading in from Black Ops 2.
Okay.
And he put out a Twitter thread on how to beat him. He's like, you guys are all so bad. I'm going to put a Twitter thread. I'm going to put my 32 or 34 rules of COD on how to play. And then I'm literally going to tell you guys how to beat us at the next tournament.
What a guy.
And they still won that next tournament.
What a guy, dude. Oh my god.
That's what it reminded me of. Except he put out a whole YouTube video and then also translated it in French for the guy. And then he put him out in seconds.
What a guy, dude. I don't get people that don't like Paint Talbot, man. I really don't.
But man, speaking about hate, Josh, that's not the most hate we got this week. This week, we actually got some Asian hate. Jillian Robertson, Michelle Waterson, dude. People did not get the memo.
Yep.
You hated my intro for that, didn't you?
No, I loved it. Actually. So Jillian Robertson, I mean, just Michelle Waterson, if there was any indication that she was past her prime, I mean, you could argue, we looked at the strength of schedule last week, all ranked girls. Jillian Robertson was like lowest ranked. I don't think Jillian Robertson is ranked. Beat the piss out of her for 3 rounds.
I feel like Jillian Robertson for a long time was like kind of like Paul Craig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
good subs. Now she's ranked 13.
I feel like she is still fighting like very similar, but she has gotten better
on the feet for sure. And
there's been an evolution for sure.
Yeah, let's talk about this too. Michelle Waterson retiring after losing.
Getting a video package and all.
She got a video package and all. And I don't like to compare because Michelle Waterson had a great career, former, I believe, Invicta champion. She had a great run. They gave her a video package after minutes after former UFC heavyweight champion Andre Arlovski had his final fight.
She retired in a crowd of 250.
Yeah. Well, look, man. They gave her a video package. They gave her a retirement speech. Arlovski, 45 years old, been in the UFC for 24 years. Told him to get the fuck out of here.
Former UFC heavyweight champion.
Dude. I don't know what it is about the UFC and Dana White, but they hate their own history so much. Like, they'll do stuff like this, and they'll honor modern fighters, but it's like, man, Arlovski been around since UFC 28, man, and you can't, in his final fight, you can't give him the mic. He said he didn't want, like, a big post-fight interview. Apparently, they said, that's what the UFC said. They said he didn't want one, but you still can't honor the guy in some form outside of Dana White saying,
"Oh yeah, he's for the people."
Yeah, you can't just like the only acknowledgement they had was Dana White saying he's gone. It's like, come on, man.
By the way,
the guy something.
He's gonna be gone from the UFC, but do you think it continues?
He said he's probably going to continue, and I think BKFC
PFL
Bellator makes sense. One championship, maybe he'll go there. Maybe he'll go. I don't even know, but. I mean, he's at the age where, like, he arguably won that fight against Martin Budes. I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, he's still competitive.
Split, not a bad,
So what are you gonna do?
Didn't get knocked out.
Hey man, shout out on Andre Arlovski. Hell of a UFC career though, man. 45 years old.
How many fights total in the UFC? Was it some insane number? I think we looked it up.
We'd have to count it, but he holds.
If you go to Tapology, it'll give you the count.
Oh, you're right. What am I doing? Yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate that he ended his career. He lost 3 in a row, I believe, to end his UFC stint.
Hey, man, but when you're that age and at heavyweight, the fact that he kept it going that long is pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, Andre Arlovski, final fight in the UFC.
Oh my god, that doesn't even seem like a real number.
Yeah, that is insane. So Andre Arlovski, 45 years old, ends his UFC career with a 23-18 record, 1 no contest. Been in the UFC from 2000 to 2024. Faced some of the greatest fighters of all time. He faced Fedor outside of the UFC. He got wins over Bigfoot Silva, Frank Mir, Tim Sylvia, guys like that, man. And
what is that, 40 something odd fights, right? Something like that.
yeah, 40 something fights as a total.
40 something fights in the UFC.
Beat Ben Rothwell, Stephen Struve, Travis Brown.
Look at those early days right there. Look at that run right there, dude.
And by the way, this was after he was considered past his prime for the first time.
Frank
Arlovsky had
Premier.
Dude, Arlovsky, he just doesn't get the respect he deserves. He's a guy.
I like how he had like several little runs in his career right there at the start. It's sad because
Dude,
there was losses in between.
he had 3 primes. You know Arlovsky's prime? From 2000 to about 2008 or so. After that, he lost 4 in a row, came back, got released in the UFC, and then he didn't really enter his prime. But from about 2013 to about 2016, he had another prime. And then from about 2020, I'd say 2019 to about 2023, he had another prime. Look at that span there from fucking 2020.
He always came back. That
Yeah.
was the thing. He lost, but he always found a way to come back on a little run.
I think it's still bullshit they didn't give him a ranked guy. Whenever he had that streak right there, he beat, what is that, 6 or 7, and his only loss was to Tom.
I think
Aspinall.
it's because they saw Tom beat him, right? And they didn't want to do it, especially with how quick of a rise Tom
Still
had.
though. I look, man, hell of a career. One of the greatest heavyweights of all time, Andrei Arlovsky, man. Good for him. That being said, as far as the rest of the card goes, I mean, Ray Tatsura picking up a winner with Carlos Hernandez in the corner. 1-0, Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, man. Shout out Shinsuke. I believe 5-1 as an MMA fighter. Now 1-0 as a coach. Shout out Shinsuke Nakamura.
By the way, a
man.
very like different fight than what we're used to. Very grappling heavy. A lot of jits in there, man. It was a nice little change of pace, man, from what we typically have. Like I said, I will argue. A lot of people might don't like when the fight goes to the ground, like let's just say like collectively.
Yeah.
But there can be fun, very ground centered fights.
Yes,
I will always refer to Gamrot. Sorry, you can that's how good a fight can be with heavy grappling and be entertaining and be a banger. That was a banger fight with a lot of grappling fight.
Bad decision, but banger fight. You know?
Ooh.
No, people forget that was a bad decision if you look it up on MMA decisions. Anyways, then opening up the card, Vinicius Oliveira defeating Ricky Simone.
That was a sick fight, by the way.
Yeah.
Fun fight at Vinicius Oliveira. I picked him to win that, by the way. I got that right.
Got that one right. But look, man, International Fight Week is come and gone.
Which means we don't have any UFC this week.
We have no UFC this week. However,
that means that the next month is going to be a very depressing month for Angel and Josh.
Yeah. However, you know what we have? On the UFC Fight Pass pay-per-view.
By the way, how much is it going to cost?
I think it was originally $75. They lowered it down to $49.99.
I hope no one spends their money on that. I mean, I'm just being honest.
You're not gonna buy Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz.
They could have maybe got me with $39.99.
You think if they would have dropped it 10 more bucks?
I would have been like, you know something? That makes me feel better than spending $49 on this.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, man. We're gonna preview it 5 years after they headlined UFC 244.
I remember that.
You know, won the BMF gold. The Rock was there. It was the first time Trump went to a UFC
event. Did the fight get stopped
event.
because of cuts, though?
Correct.
If I remember right.
Stopped due to cuts before the 4th round. Masvidal was up like 30-26. It wasn't competitive, but still, Nate came back in the 3rd. It looked like we were about to finally get a good fight. Jorge was gassing.
There was blood.
New York.
It was
and
the
then
aura.
The New York doctors called it off. Well, they've talked about doing a rematch between those two for a couple of years now. Now they're going to rematch, but in the boxing ring. I believe it's going to be
in the Triad. No, I was kidding.
Brought to you by Triller Fight Club. No, fucking. So we got 10 rounds apparently at light heavyweight. 175. Masvidal, Diaz. You kind of already gave away your excitement level, which by saying you wouldn't pay any money for this, but I guess you.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't watch it. Let me clarify that.
So give me your excitement level then. 1 to 10.
7.
7?
It's like passing. It's a C.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of where I am too. Look, on a weekend where there's not that much happening, I'll watch this. They originally had this one scheduled for a month ago. They moved it forward so that way they had no conflicts. And because of that, they also got the UFC to promote it and everything. They've been posting about it.
So it's kind of a W in the end for them.
I'd say so. The UFC's been promoting on all their social medias. They got the Fight Pass.
Where are they fighting?
Vegas, I believe. Unless I'm incorrect.
Oh, wait. I thought you had it pulled up. And I was
no. They don't have a wiki page for it, so I'd have to.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, we're gonna recap.
They're fighting in the T-Mobile arena.
No. So they're gonna be fighting. They're fighting in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California.
Okay, that's a legit venue, though.
That is a legit
venue. By the way,
venue.
That means payouts will be disclosed.
That is correct. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right,
dude. That's a big thing right there.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and say this. I'll give him props. We're going to talk about some undercard fights in a minute. Surprisingly good undercard.
By the way, I mean, I do when I checked it out like a little while back, and I was like, okay. By the way, since we will know the numbers will be disclosed, how much do you think both of these guys are going to make?
Well, they're self-promoting, so I'm gonna guess they're both gonna get paid pretty well. I'm gonna go $1 million each.
Really, just clean $1 million.
Maybe
1.5.
Maybe I think maybe Masvidal 1.5, maybe Nate 1.2, and they're both gonna get pay-per-view points.
PvP points, promotional sell,
portion of the gate too, because it's boxing, so it's different.
By the way, we're gonna like get the spoiler here real quick, but Daniel Jacobs and Jay Mosley Jr. are fighting actual like
that's a banger fight.
They're traditional pros. Yeah. How much do you think those guys are gonna get paid? They're just gonna get a little bag, dude.
Danny Jacobs seemed like he was in retirement, so I bet he's probably gonna get a decent payday. I'm gonna guess 700. You just gotta go about boxing because even if they're not championship level, if they have a name at all, they're gonna get bare minimum 600K. So I'm gonna go 600K for him, probably 400 to 300 for Shane Mosley Jr. Shane Mosley Jr. wasn't actually that good for a long time, but he's really picked it up. You know what I mean? So that should be a fun fight, man. At 168, I love that one. I love Danny Jacobs, dude. Just the most, in my opinion, the most underrated guy of the 2010s. You never hear anybody talk about it now. So
this guy's a dog.
Yeah, nearly beat Canelo and nearly beat Triple G. Came up short both times, but what are you gonna do?
That's how it is, man. That's how. Yeah.
We also got Chris Avila, Anthony Pettis. I think Avila's gonna fuck him up. I gotta say it. And
dude, Chris Avila has somehow made this boxing shit just work, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think it's because like I remember in MMA,
and his only loss was to like a legit boxer, right?
It was early in his career. He lost a decision to Vicente Guzman.
Oh wow, that's way. I thought it was one of his recent fights.
No, since then he's undefeated. He beat Anthony Taylor. He beat our boy Dr. Mike. He beat Paul Bamba, who's actually a legit boxer. Jeremy Stevens, and Jake Bostwick, who's more of an MMA guy.
How old is Chris Avila?
He's got to be early 30s. I'm going to go 32 if I had to guess.
31? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely not a lot of time, but he could definitely like maybe find some way to some big cards and get paid.
Yeah, I mean, he moved up in weight. He fought at featherweight in his MMA career. Now he's fighting 170, or 168, I believe. So,
and granted, it's not like the best competition either.
No,
right?
But I think he's gonna work Anthony Pettis in there, dude.
Dude, another crazy fight that's on this. Sean Garcia, Ryan Garcia's brother, not suspended. Taking on, what is that? Is that Amado Vargas?
Amado Vargas.
Part of the Vargas family. It's three brothers, right?
Correct. The three young brothers.
The three kings, as they've been calling them.
Yeah, it should be fun.
What are the three brothers? It was the other, and then the dad, obviously.
Oh yeah, I can't think of any of their names right now. I feel like I'm blanking.
But you can probably look up the Vargas boxing family.
Yeah.
I know they're gonna have generic ass, like I hate to say it, but like generic Hispanic names. I can say that though. You guys can't cancel me.
Fernando Vargas was the dad, I believe. That's something crazy.
Legend Fernando Vargas. Yeah, down there. Yeah, you see right there. Emiliano Vargas, Amado Vargas. I feel like there's another Vargas. I feel like they're missing a Vargas in there. I don't know why.
Let me see. Does he seriously not have a personal life on his fucking wiki? Okay, thanks guys. Thanks Wikipedia.
I just see it over there on Google.
Yeah. Okay. So his sons, Emiliano Vargas, Amado Vargas, and Fernando Vargas Jr. So,
on the come up.
All on the come up. And this is a great fight for both of these guys. Two young guys.
You know what fucks me up though? You never see this. Two little young, like two prospects like this, like meeting, like every now and then, they might like
at 10 fights and under too.
Yeah, like you might see it, but not like this.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't. From my understanding, Sean obviously not a fraction as good as Ryan, but
well, also he hasn't like fully like he's tried, but he hasn't like full on force on building up the record. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and he's working. He's
he's trying to make. I think he's had injuries too. Like I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's had his own up and down in his career.
Also at lightweight on this card, Cormel Moton. I apologize, Moton. I don't know if you pronounce his name, but Floyd's guy. Floyd's a young prospect, 18 years old, 3-0, great amateur boxer. Just turned pro, I think, this year. He's the real deal, and he's fighting on this card as well. So that should be fun.
But Josh, we kind of double back to the main event a little bit here.
Yeah, let's go back to the main event. Yeah.
How do you think this is gonna play out?
If I had to guess, I think Masvidal's gonna tune him up early, and I think Nate's gonna come back late. And I actually think Nate might win by decision.
He could. I think he could. I think
it's a very fair fight.
I think I'm still picking Masvidal in the rematch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, gun to my head.
They're both older. Like, they're both older. It's just a proven fact. Yeah.
Gun to my head, I'd pick Masvidal.
Yeah.
Just because he's not been more active, but he's been facing better guys.
And also, I feel like in the boxing setting, I feel like it's only going to be better for him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He got that Cuban blood.
He does have that Cuban blood. Yeah, I mean, look, I will say this. It's a very fair fight when you think about it. You know what I mean? I really could see it going either way, honestly, because Nate obviously has fought in boxing more recently. Masvidal is coming out of retirement, but Masvidal, whenever they did fight, Masvidal tuned him up, and he's a younger guy, so you know.
Do you think he have an old dog in his corner? What's his name? He's had him come out for a few of his matches. Old boxer. Why am I blanking on his name? I can see his face.
Oh, are you talking about Roberto Duran?
Do you think he'll have Roberto Duran in his
That'd
corner?
be sick if he did have him in his corner.
But Duran's come out a few times for a few of his stuff. I was like,
he was there for. Funny enough, whenever he beat Nate the first time, he was in the octagon with him.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, do you think he'll have Duran there? Like, I know Duran's been having health issues.
I don't know, but I fucking love Roberto Duran, dude.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, he might be. He was one of the. Just as like a quick aside before we move on, we should continue previewing. He was one of those guys that whenever I was growing up and I was watching boxing, because I was into boxing
I
before.
feel like that guy's him.
I was like, dude, this motherfucker came from nothing. And you could just tell, it's just like, man, I don't give a fuck who's in there with me. I don't give a fuck if I'm fighting at 140 or I'm fighting 168. I'm gonna come for it and beat your fucking ass, dude.
That mindset is godlike, isn't it?
Fucking love me some.
But I wonder if he'll have Duran there in the corner.
I hope he does.
I hope he does too.
I think he will probably.
I know Duran, like I said, has had some health like scares in recent years and stuff.
So hopefully he's doing all right. But I think if he's doing all right, he'll probably be there. So that's my guess. But look, dude. I mean, as far as the fight goes, man, I really don't know. Like I said, gun in my head, I'd probably pick Masvidal.
We're gonna watch it because there's nothing to watch this weekend.
Yeah, and like I said, man, if they lower the pay-per-view price to $40, I'd totally buy it. But $50, even $50 for pay-per-view isn't bad in 2024. That's just because the UFC are fucking our pockets every single time we, buy a pay-per-view. Same for boxing. So, that's just the way it is now, man. Tons of price increases. I'm sure they're all going to the fighters. Anything else to talk about this card before we go ahead and move on?
No, just I mean, like I said, I'm gonna check it out, get my thoughts next week.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not like seeking it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out, but I'm like, dude, fuck.
It's not appointment viewing. It's like, oh shit, 9 p.m.'s on. Well, Masvidal
yeah, dude.
Diaz.
It's not like the PFL last week. Like PFL last week, dude, I was so hyped up.
Yeah. Anyways, man, we only have a couple of pieces of news. That being said, we got a fight announcement. We got some other news. Let's start off with this. Michael Chandler took to Twitter this past week. We know he was in Vegas for UFC 303. Apparently, he had some meetings with the top brass. That's why he went there. Even he said Conor McGregor wasn't showing up, but I'm showing up at my event. He met with the UFC. According to Michael Chandler, this is very big. According to Michael Chandler, nobody else has confirmed this, but according to Michael Chandler, he said he was offered to either fight Islam Makhachev in October for the UFC lightweight title or fight Conor McGregor in September at the UFC Sphere.
Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go. Let's go.
So,
dude, what if Chandler started doing like the Shannon Brazak and started following Conor everywhere?
That's the only way he can come back.
Or like he did like the Tarver Roy Jones like, I'm here, bro. I'm here. Fight me. Sign the contract.
Yeah, it's the only.
I'm right here.
It's the only way he can come back from this. Because, dude, he has been led around like a fucking blind dog.
By the way, we joked about it, but it's like, dude, what if Michael Chandler was the guy to dethrone Islam Makhachev? We're laughing, but it's kind of like on the off chance, right? Like,
dude, Chandler has so much power, you can't count him out of any fight. That's why it would be so.
And he can wrestle.
It would be so fucking funny if Michael Chandler was the guy to.
I have a weird feeling he gets head kick KO. I don't know why.
Oh, he probably would. Yeah, he'd probably go right into it like Volk did.
Yeah, I feel like it'd play out like that.
Yeah, realistically, I think Islam gets him out of there and around. But at the same time, dude.
But hey, Chandler's one of those guys that like could come in there like and just kind of surprises.
Dude, if Michael Chandler beats Islam Makhachev, I'm walking around with an American flag draped around me for a week.
And the Mizzou flag too, right?
Exactly. We gotta represent Missouri, you know.
Come out in the Mizzou sling, dude, in the next episode, looking like Ben Askren and shit. We're gonna have to curl your hair. That should be your Halloween costume when you're Josh. It should be Ben Askren.
I got the disc golf. I got his disc too, so I can even rock around with that.
You can do that,
yeah. Right? Yeah, man.
Do you think these are actually realistic options, or he's just kind of putting them out? I feel like Chandler's a pretty honest guy. I'll give him that. Like, I don't think Chandler like really bullshits. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd probably live any promo. Like, I feel like he's been pretty. Like, anytime he's had fights come up or kind of like his opponents come up, he's been very like forward. Like, yeah, this is what I'm fighting. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, well, people gave him shit and they're like, "There's no way this would happen." And I'm like, dude, look at the UFC's matchmaking in 2024. I could absolutely see them being like, you know what, Chandler. We wasted 2 years of your career. Here's a title shot. Dude, they've been doing this shit like it's hostage negotiations, dude, with the most pressure in the world. Like, this is like, they got boom boom strapped. You know, I can't use the words. They got boom boom strapped, and they got to make sure that people are getting out. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Like they, like it's like that. You know what I mean. I could absolutely see Hunter Campbell calling up,
and being like, hey Mike, we need a main event for October. We know you've been waiting.
But who's still up in the air right now? That's like with their fight is Oliveira.
Chody Olives. Apparently, he's not going to be fighting Dan Hooker. That would turn out not to be true.
I think
Dan Hooker came out and said, "Yeah, I lied about that."
Do you think he's going to fight like Gamrot? Like, is it gonna be something really obscure like that?
Fuck, I hope not.
That fight kind of makes sense, oddly enough.
So, what do you think about him fighting Colby? Because he said he was thinking about moving up to welterweight, and Colby said,
if he could pull Colby out and make him fight that, why the fuck not?
Yeah, right.
And Oliveira can carry that weight.
Crazy that Colby wants to fight a guy that's not ranked at 170 and coming up from lightweight, though. Crazy. Could you imagine?
But I think for Oliveira, he's in a weird spot, right? Because it's like he doesn't need to. Gaethje's coming off a loss. He doesn't need to fight Gaethje. He's already beat him with like fighting for the title.
Yeah, he's in a really.
He doesn't need to fight Dustin because he defended against Dustin.
Correct.
Even then, they could do that fight. And it's kind of unfortunate because he's coming off the Arman loss, and he's not gonna fight Arman anytime soon. Like that rematch is not gonna happen. But I will say, dude, I do think that the Arman suspension is kind of a good thing because Oliveira could sneak in there somehow. But the issue is he's coming off a loss.
Mm-hmm.
If he was coming off a win, like he beat someone, like I think it literally wouldn't matter. Like if he would have, let's say, like instead of losing to Arman, he lost to Dan Hooker or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or beat Dan Hooker or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like Oliveira with this suspension could sneak his way in, fight Islam, and then Islam wouldn't have to fight the next year against Arman.
Yeah, I mean that all makes sense. It's really just a matter of what he wants to do.
I know the topic is not Oliveira. I know we kind of like deviated here, but it's
Doesn't
like
matter.
who is Oliveira going to fight next? Like he's in a very odd spot.
It's literally I don't even know. I don't even want to guess because he has been so silent. He said maybe I'll go to welterweight,
but he wants to fight. He wants to fight.
I know. So I don't know, man. So if he stays, here's what I'm gonna say. If he stays a lightweight, I think he's gonna end up fighting. Even though it doesn't make a lot of sense, I think probably Gaethje. I think you can see him fighting Gaethje again. I could also
they got
see
beef
him
too, right?
They got beef. It was a great fight the first time. Winner gets maybe a title shot or something. I don't know, but like I could see him doing something like that. He needs a big name. I don't think they'll give him a guy like Gamrot or anything.
Really?
I could see him even fighting a guy. I mean, even Dan Hooker said that like he didn't. It's not actually in the works. He just wants to fight. He said he lied about it being in the works, which is really funny. I love Dan Hooker, but like I could see him doing that fight because he's a big name.
But Dan Hooker's fighting St. Denis now, right? Oh no, that's Moicano.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think if he moves at welterweight, I think all bets are off. I have no idea. Maybe he wouldn't fight. I was about to say I'd love to see it. It wouldn't happen. Could you imagine him against Ian Gary?
Dude, you know what's crazy? I was saying the same exact thing. But they're teammates, so they can't happen.
Exactly.
They wouldn't fight each other.
But at the same time, Ian Gary gets thrown out of gyms like it's going out of style. So who really knows?
No, but I think him and the Shoot the Boxes are like their family.
I would love to see.
Oh wait, did the rankings update?
No.
I could have sworn that Oldberg Anthony Smith ranking wasn't like that before. I could be wrong.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it got changed right now. That is insane.
Live on air, guys. You guys are getting a live update.
Live on air. Diego Lopez now ranked number 12. Anthony Smith down one spot to 11.
Carlos Oberg, aka Blackjack, moving up.
MVP moving up one spot in defeat.
Wait, what?
Moved up from he's now at a tie with Luke for 13th place.
Dude, that's so funny.
That's it. Those are the only rankings that mattered.
Dude, they should have made MVP fight Luke.
Jesus Christ.
I know, I'm a terrible person.
Anyways, man.
But wait, Yuri didn't move in 205.
No, which makes sense, I feel like. Anyways,
short notice, right?
We'll see what happens with lightweight.
But that is still not it, people. There's still more news this week.
There's still more news this week, boys. This is a fight announcement that
Josh hates.
I gotta be honest, man. I like all the people involved. I like the people involved. I like the promoter. I like everything. I hate this fight. I hate this fight so much. KSI, who is rumored to be fighting Amir Khan, and we came on this show just 3 weeks ago and said KSI Amir Khan is a fucking excellent fight. We gave him all the props in the world. I even said I think he might win that fight. A lot of people were calling
that was ballsy as fuck.
I just think size-wise, he's so much bigger than him. He's been more active. Amir Khan looked washed to the heavens. But you get my point.
He's been knocked out several times.
Oh my God, dude, that Kell Brook fight, I don't think he threw a punch. That's besides the point. So, KSI, we gave him all those props. Instead of fighting Amir Khan on August 31st in Dublin at the 3 Arena, he will be facing Slim and Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor in a 2v1 fight. Not 2 fights one night. He's not facing these guys 1-on-1. No, it's going to be a tag team match
But granted, though,
because that makes sense.
I
for
will say
boxing.
these guys are probably like in the influencer boxing space, like 1 and 2 up there. You know what I mean?
No,
Or
no,
at
I
least
don't dispute
a
that,
top
yeah.
3, like unquestionably.
No, I don't dispute that. And here's the thing: is like I said, if it was one fight, excuse me, if it was 2 fights one night, I'd be all about.
That'd
it.
be pretty impressive.
I love that because I love the old style tournaments of having guys fight multiple times in a night. That's sick.
That's awesome.
This is not awesome. This is
It's a
some
1v2 tag team.
This is WWE, dude. Like, and I said this on the show.
I think it'd be impressive if you had to take out both guys.
Yeah, I agree. And here's the issue. I remember we talked about this probably like 2 months ago on the same show, 2 or 3 months ago. And it's actually one of our YouTube videos I did really well at the time, where we just talked about Misfits. It's like, dude, like they've lost us with this tag team shit, and they stopped doing the tag team shit. Their last few events have been normal. There've been no tag teams, no handicap matches, and it's like, yeah, dude, I've actually enjoyed that. I've enjoyed just watching fighting and not watching.
I feel like what they
WWE.
need to do is go back to like their old ways. They need to find beefs within the community that people want to settle. Get them in, develop a story, build up a hype centered about that, and build it up with relevant names. Because there is guys that want to fight, like Bryce Hall, Taylor Holder. Those guys are fight. Those guys have a big following. You know, you'll get butts and seats. Both of those guys, both of those guys are willing to throw down and put on a good fight. Salt Poppy, another guy. Rematch, Slim, Dean the Gray. No one's gonna give a fuck if these guys rematch.
Yeah,
There's nothing on the fucking line.
yeah, they're just fighting.
You know what I mean?
Like these are titles, but these are made up fake titles. Like we don't have to pretend.
Dude,
this
they're
matters.
no,
Like,
they actually hold less value than a WWE title.
That's true.
They
That's true.
actually hold less value.
Yeah,
than a WWE
that's
title.
true. I mean, look, dude, it's like I said, I like all the guys involved. If they would have done these fights 1-on-1, I'd be all about it.
Their next card could have been, just to give you an example, JJ, Slim, main event, co-main,
Yeah,
El Brook, Paige Van Sant, Dean the Great versus Waleed Sharks, the trilogy.
yeah. And look, here's the thing: they don't want our validation. They don't care about what actual.
And then you can
boxing
even have like a
critics think.
freak show fight down under there, dude. You know what I mean?
It's like they don't care about our validation. They don't care what we think, and I know that. But it's like, dude, like, just as somebody who's been watching since the start, we previewed most Misfits cards that have happened.
We've seen pretty much the whole evolution of the influencer.
And this is gonna be their 2-year anniversary of the shit. It's like, man, like,
also they haven't gotten Logan to box again.
no,
which is one of their
and-
biggest cards. And I get it. Logan's doing WWE. He's doing this podcast.
Yeah.
He's running his business.
Yeah.
He's had injuries legitimately.
Well, here's the thing: is that the people that are getting involved, the influencers, are getting smaller and smaller in terms of stature. You know what I mean? In terms of people
Well, dude,
that want to
just
see
no
them fight.
disrespect, but our own boy Ben Davis, like I get it. Ben is big in our space, like in our niche community.
Yeah.
But dude, Ben is not pulling a lot of people in.
And
No-
we'll actually talk about karate combat in a minute. Shout out Ben Davis beating up a former Misfits guy too.
yeah,
Yeah. So
that made
was
me
fun.
so happy.
That made me happy too, dude. Good for him, man. I love to see.
I was almost jealous, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I kind of wish I was there.
To be fair, I think no offense to the guy that he fought. I don't remember his fucking name. I'm sorry.
But Ben's a dog, dude. Like,
Ben's
I
a-
gotta give
Ben's
it
a
to
dog.
Ben. Ben's a dog.
Ben's a dog. The guy who was fighting was basically like, I don't know. It's like they pulled the guy off the street. It's
I'd
like,
fight Ben, like in a friendly way. I'd fight Ben.
Oh, I'd fight Ben too. I mean, me and Ben are like the same.
Hey, if
same
they get us-
height, same weight.
If they
you know
get
what I mean?
me, if they fly me out to Florida and get me and Ben on a contract, dude, I am going out there to throw it down against Ben.
I'd throw down against Ben too. I'd do it. I love the guy, but in like a friendly way. I'd fuck yeah.
I think
Karate
I
combat?
gas very hard.
Karate combat.
But
One
I'll
of
tell
the
you what, I'm
similar
gonna
guys?
give Ben Davis the best 30 seconds of his life.
You probably like that, you know. Like,
We're cool enough with Ben. We can maybe throw a joke out there like that. I
Anyways.
think he maybe would.
yeah. But look, dude, this.
I don't know, Ben. Am I your type? No.
No, man. I've said this before. I've said this before. I'd fight anybody on Misfits or Karate Combat or any of that shit because it's like, fuck, man, why not?
If you could get a nice little paycheck,
You know, why not,
how
man?
much would you need
Seems like
minimum?
fun.
I think I know we talked about this in the past. I don't know if it was on air though.
I mean, if they pay for my flight, I'll do it for free. Fuck it. Give me a free vacation.
Wait, so you would go out there 2 days, 3 days, because plus I'm guessing you fly out the next day.
Yeah.
You go weigh in, show up,
Yeah.
do the presser, fight the next day.
Yeah.
Win or lose, and then go home. Don't even need the money.
I mean, I'd prefer to be paid, but I'm just saying.
How much
like,
would it take though money wise? Like they give you the contract. You're like, Josh, you're gonna fight.
$1,000.
Just some random guy. Let's just say they pull the guy off.
They give me $1,000, I'll do it. You give
a
me
grand to fight?
you
Win
give me-
in show or
if
just
you-
flat?
If you just win
I
a
feel like
show.
they give you more than $1,000.
They probably would, but I'm just saying, like, dude, I don't need that much. If you're paying for my flight, you're paying for my
If you give
hotel,
me $4K, I'd probably be happy.
and you let my corner, if you let my corner come for free, and you let my fiance come for free,
Oh, dude,
I'll do it.
I'd be in that fucking court, Josh.
Exactly, I know.
Dude, I'd be
Yeah.
Teddy Atlas in that fucking corner, dude.
We are firemen.
I'm Eric Nixick in that corner, dude. Holy
Yeah.
fuck, dude. I'm Pep Guardiola. I'm fucking. What's the Celtics coach? I already forget his name.
Oh man, I can't think of his name right now.
Dude, I'm Greg Popovich in that bitch.
Exactly.
I'm all these fucking all-time greats, dude.
And, yeah, just kind of rein it in. We'll watch the KSI fight, but I'm not that excited for
yeah,
it.
Yeah, yeah.
It just seems like a kind of a waste of time.
It's gonna have an I think even if it goes the wrong way, it's gonna be a really big L for JJ.
I know, and I think even JJ knows it's kind of a throwaway fight, just based on the way they promote it and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Could you imagine JJ knocks them both out? I don't think he can because it's a 3-1, but still, like, I don't know.
We'll see. Speaking of
Round
karate
one,
combat,
Anthony Taylor's in. Anthony Taylor's out. Slim hasn't even tagged in. No, I'm just kidding.
we'll go ahead and we'll move one down because we actually just mentioned karate combat. It was a fun event. Our boy Ben the Bay Davis picked up a win.
Sam Alvey trying to defend his title didn't get to do it, sadly.
Yeah, correct. But dude, this was the highlight of the weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a lot of people. So I've said this before. The president, his nickname is President Awesome. I think I don't know his actual name, which makes it even
I think
funny.
he has a very cultural name. I could be wrong.
He's kind of a. I'm not going to guess his ethnicity.
If you go to once again, I'm saying tap. If you go to Tapology, go to Alex Pereira because she fights at a Team Body Shop, I believe, and you click Team Body Shop, it'll show him in there because he owns that gym. Or you could just do Tapology and go Team Body Shop.
Yeah,
I think it's Team Body Shop.
I believe so. So, this guy, man. I'm actually not gonna say until I get his actual name. I don't want to call him.
You want to like honor him.
I don't want to call him President Awesome. That's fucking stupid. But
it's not Team. Oh no, it's the Goat Shed. My fucking bad.
Goat. Oh, you're
My
right.
Team Body Shop is
That's an old gym.
Yeah, that used to be what's his name's gym. AJ McKee's dad gym, right?
Yep, that's correct. Antonio McKee.
My bad, guys. I got my gyms mixed up. The Goat Shed
Out of Miami.
Which their logo's sick.
I love it. Founded in 2020.
Right there, Asim.
So,
because I've seen the name before. Asim Zaidi,
Sensei Big Daddy Splash.
In the by the way, that's his wife, I believe, too, with him.
Good for them, man. Look, so and they were building a pretty good roster.
Hector Lombard,
Eileen Perez.
By the way, that young guy right there, that Mexican guy, really fucking good.
June Robertson. Yeah, I know they have a lot of Combate Americans.
A lot of Combate guys.
Yeah, a lot of Combate. A lot of young guys. So
hey, but they're building up their gym. That's good, though. They're establishing themselves. They're getting it.
It's true. But anyways, so our guy, the Karate Combat president, man, a cornerman after a fight rushed the. I don't know what do you call their surface? Whatever. He rushed the ring. Whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. The cornerman rushed the ring, and the president of Karate Combat jumps into the ring during all this. The guy's like still trying to go to get the guy. He wraps him on a rear naked,
like Dexter Morgan,
like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Dexter Morgan. He locks him up, chokes the guy to sleep, and just jumps back in the crowd and continues watching the fight.
You saw
Dana White, where are you? Whenever UFC 229 was happening,
you saw Sam Alvey was stuck in that, dude. He was stuck. He was trying to get out, and Sam's like, I'm fine, guys. Like, he's putting his hands up.
Friend of the show, Sam Alvey, was right in the thick of it, right in the middle of it.
Heavyweight champion of Karate Combat.
Yeah, heavyweight champion Sam Alvey. Love Sam, man.
Smiling Sam.
Yeah, Smiling Sam. Dude, the funniest shit I've seen at a combat sports event in a long time, honestly. Like, I've never seen anything that funny. Of all the people, the president of the company jumps in there. I was like, I got this one, boys. You know? Oh, man. Like, they're doing some fun shit down there, man. It looks, I'll be honest with you, Karate Combat, it really feels to me like some sort of Ponzi scheme where everybody involved is going to get arrested in like 4 years or something. But I will say, until then,
it's very fun to watch.
I'm about it, bro.
I love it.
Anyways, man. We got one final story. This is actually one I added as we were talking because I remember this. So Dustin the Diamond Poirier, he's officially announced one last dance. He announced it earlier this week. He called out Conor McGregor. He called out Islam Makhachev, and he called out Michael Chandler.
Hey, all of those call outs.
Really?
Yes.
I know you wouldn't see the Justin Gaethje
or Colby.
You fuck that.
Move to 170. Just see him fight at 170.
No.
I just want to see how he looks at 170.
Dude, if Dustin Poirier ended his career after losing to Colby Covington, I might shoot myself.
Okay, but what if Dustin Poirier ended his career after beating the shit out of Colby Covington and everybody would love him?
Well, then I will be on a high unlike anything else. No drug could replicate the high that Dustin Poirier.
Would that be a bigger high than Stephen Miocic knocking out John Jones for you?
Brother, it'd be
or Michael Chandler finishing Islam Makhachev?
No, I think
I'd actually love to see you rank those three.
Rank those three: Poirier, Colby. I hate Colby so much. I think it's ridiculous we still talk about this fucking guy. When's the last time he beat a ranked fighter? Can you tell me? No, you can't fucking tell me because he hasn't fucking done. So anyways, we have... So that would be number 1. I think Chandler Makachev would be funniest, so I had to put it number 2. And then number 3, Stipe John, because I do want to see John against Tom and John against Alex. But I do think it would also be really funny if 43-year-old firefighter Stipe Miocic came out of the firehouse and went out and beat John Jones. Oh my God. Dude has to literally request time off to work.
But yeah, I really wouldn't be
fight.
like, it's like, dude, I already saw your fight with Islam. I know where it's going to go.
Yeah. Well, so he said, Dustin added him on Twitter. He's like, hey, Islam, if you can't fight Arman in October, we're going to rematch or something. Just telling him.
That would just be so odd. I almost feel like I'd be more into an Oliveira rematch than that. Yeah. Personally.
I agree. And Islam said no thanks on Twitter. Yeah. So.
And Connor, like, I feel like there was a time for it, not too into it now. And Chandler's just, there's a banger. I mean, I guess maybe I'd be okay. It was weird. I'm most okay with that one, but it's just because I know it'd be a war.
It'd be a war, and also those guys have like weird beef. They hated each other whenever they fought.
Yeah,
and Chandler doesn't have like a whole lot of beefs like that. So no. I don't know. But look, man, I would love to see all 3 of those fights. Honestly, I mean, it's not my number one. My number one. Maybe Chandler. Probably the best one of the 3. I agree with you there, but
kind of weird, right? Like when you put it in perspective.
Yeah, when you kind of put it in perspective, there's not a whole lot of fantastic options, but I'd watch all 3 of them. Don't get me wrong,
dude. It's Gaethje or nothing for me.
Yeah, I got you. I
pretty much is, like, to be honest.
I can.
How can those guys not have a third fight? And also, how could he not want to get it back?
Exactly. But look, man, I like it. I'm happy to see Dustin coming back for one final fight, man. If there's a guy that deserves a send off in that way, and he wants to go off on a win.
Could you imagine a double retirement, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier double retirement?
That'd be insane. I love that.
They both knock each other out.
Rolling thunder at the same time.
They both don't get up. The fight's over.
Yeah.
No contest.
We'll see, man. We'll see what happens.
They do an action replay. They're like, Dustin actually hit the canvas first before Justin. It's a Justin Gaethje victory, or vice versa.
It's like the Royal Rumble, dude. They're making sure who their feet. They're seeing who dropped first. They're checking the feet. Like. Anyways, man. Anything else you want to go and talk about before we go and close out here, man?
No, man. I think we did the best we did with what we had to work with. Because, by the way, for people who don't know, late announcement, next week we will not be seeing Rose Namajunas versus Macy Barber. We're actually getting short notice. Tracy Cortez versus Rose Namajunas. Shout out Tracy Cortez.
Shout out Tracy.
My DTF fighter of next week already.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
I don't know if anybody will be able to beat it, but
I don't know.
Just putting it out there.
Anyways, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. He's at Angel Ortega _01 at Courtside Sound for all things related to the show. We're about to break 1,600, maybe even this week. So thank you guys for sticking along for the ride. And also thank you for 900,000 views.
We officially hit it?
We hit it, I think, last week. Last time I saw, we were at 905.
Oh, it just hasn't updated?
Maybe not.
Oh, fuck. I need to
Maybe you're looking on Social Blade?
No. I've been looking on.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It does take time to delay on both. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. And, stay tuned. We'll have some fun things cooking for you. Peace and butt grease. Mouse, click. Got your ass, bro.